exhibit. How many people put their hands in touch pools today? What did the water feel like? Okay, that's what he's diving in. Almost. David, where's your bucket? Uh-oh. He was so excited to come in and see you. I've got to send him back up top. But he's got a friend up there, George. George will hand him the bucket. And in there's all the fish. So he's got to go up and get it again. So what we needed is cold water. So we pumped 2,000 gallons of water into this exhibit every minute. And when you touch the water in the touch pools, you'll know it's really cold. The next thing we needed was sunlight. So if you go up to the third floor and do it at the end of the show, go on up. And when David gets out of the water, he takes his equipment off. And he loves to talk to little people. So take your kids on up there and talk to David. And he's really great about answering questions. Okay.
Hey, Judy.
Hi, David. How are you?
Oh, pretty better now.
Well, the fish are going to be happier.
Absolutely. I was so excited to go diving today that I forgot why I was going diving.
It's just so much fun to be in there. I want to come in and play in there someday.
It's great. After a long week of work, this is a great way to end it.
Yeah. So what's on the menu for these guys today?
Well, fortunately, I have it now. We got a little bit of everything. We got some salmon in here. We've got some, just a second. All right. We've got some squid. We've got some shrimp. We've got some krill. All nice restaurant quality food that these guys just love to eat.
Yeah. Look at that great piece of salmon going by. Whoa. That was $10.99. But that's great. They do get restaurant quality food. They go to the same places that a restaurant or a market would buy food. And we've got some really neat fish in there, David. Who's in there? Let's see.
Well, we got all sorts of guys. Most of these guys are rockfish, so we have 50-some species of rockfish that occur in Monterey Bay. And we probably have a dozen of them in here.
Well, David, you know what's right over your left shoulder is a black sea bass.
Hey, buddy.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's great. I've never had a black sea bass come up to the exhibit before and eat. That's wonderful. And he's going to live a couple hundred years, and he's going to get really, really big. He's not a good eater, I can tell you that. His table manners are atrocious. Oh, and look at, we've got a nice look at our shark. Now look at that. That is good manners. Didn't he eat nicely? Okay.
Yeah, so we have the black sea bass I just fed, the sharks, the leopard sharks. We have a couple other shark species in here. Horn shark and swell shark. They usually come out at night, so unfortunately we usually only see them when they're really hungry, but maybe they'll show up.
Okay. Those are really nice. How's the water today? Because when the water is really, really cold.
Well, it's not too bad. It's only about 51 degrees or so, so it's been colder.
Okay.
It's actually warmer in the water than it seems to be out in the air today, because it's kind of chilly outside, isn't it?
I was really glad to go upstairs and get into some sunshine, because it was really cold. We had frost on all the roofs here in Pacific Grove in Monterey.
Oh, here's a cool fish. That's a female sheephead right there. And the male was swimming around over there just a couple minutes ago, but the sheephead are pretty cool in that they start off as juveniles, then they become females, and then they turn into males.
So there's a fish in there. Look for it. It has like a dark tail and a dark head. There he is, way over to the right. And look at that big orange band across his middle. Now that's a male sheephead. So as David said, they all start out life as juveniles, and they're females, and then about 4 to 7 years, or when they get about 14 inches long, they start turning into boy fish. So there's a lot of adaptations out in the ocean that these fish can do to keep going and perpetuating their species. So that's a nice adaptation that they have.
And they're actually the ones that we have to worry about biting us, the sheephead. They have these big canine teeth, and they like to sneak over my shoulder and try to get the squid that I'm saving for the sharks. And they usually get my finger at the same time. So,
well, I'll tell you if they come around. Oh, look at that nice big piece of salmon that. Oh boy,
there you go.
That looks good. That looks yummy. A little tartar sauce. It sounds really good. So, David, you know the water's 51 degrees in there, and what are you wearing that's so special that helps you stay in the water?
Well, I've got quite a bit of specialized equipment on to dive, but it's a lot of the same stuff I use when I'm diving out in the bay. But I've got a dry suit that keeps me warm, keeps the water from actually touching my body. And then I have big thermals underneath it, so that keeps me warm in this nice warm 51 degrees. And then I've got this cool face mask called an AGA mask. That's much like a face mask that a firefighter would use. But that supplies my air, and my air is actually supplied through this hose here, this yellow hose. And in the AGA mask, I also have a microphone, so I can talk to you guys, obviously. And to hear you guys, I have a little device behind my ear called a bone phone, right back here, that vibrates against my skull and allows me to hear what Judy is saying today.
Now, how many people in here dive? Do I have any divers in the group? Okay, well, you know what? Dave is on staff, but we have like 130 volunteer divers that come in and they do all kinds of jobs here, from counting fish to maintenance and cleaning, and they come in 3 times a week to do windows. So if you'd like to do any of those jobs, come on in and apply as a volunteer, because we're always looking for good divers and good cleaners.
And that's actually, as Judy said, I'm a marine biologist here on staff, but I started off 13 years ago as a volunteer. So I started off cleaning these windows and doing these feeding shows 13 years ago.
Yeah. So you know how to do it.
I hope so.
And you
Except
do it
when I
well.
forget my food bucket.
Now, you know, divers know that you're not supposed to dive alone. So I mentioned earlier that someone was going to help you out. Maybe you'd like to introduce your dive buddy today.
Absolutely. We always dive with a dive buddy. So you guys want to meet my dive buddy today?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a minute. It's really cold down there, Dave.
Oh, come on, George.
And I'm controlling your air supply.
Oh, okay. So I should pull on this line. George is up top. He's one of our dive safety officers. He is on the other end of this line here, making sure that my air